What's going on, everybody? I gotta check my. All right, I gotta make sure that my. Come on, really? Stay charging, because I don't have much battery life. So if it's not charging, it's not gonna work. But it's not a hot day, so it'll do the whole sweet spot thing. I got the Ryobi lantern thing going for my lighting, and that seems to work pretty well. It looks pretty good on my screen. I don't know how it looks on your screen. I am, um, and I guess this is Egg Harbor now. It was a little too windy in AC, so I couldn't stay there tonight because it was just like blowing straight through the van, and it's supposed to flood and stuff. So I don't know, but I find myself in a very peculiar situation. As you all know, I am single now, and we're not going to see any of the mushy Manduke stuff. I don't think I'm going to do that in the next relationship that I'm in because of what it is. But I am going to re-release the ones that I have because of what they are. I've been single for about a month now. Well, as I was being kicked out of my now ex's house, she was telling me, "I'm sure you will find somebody who will support you in what you do, and she'll do the same thing, and you won't have that same quality of relationship." Well, I actually thought about that, and there was somebody that I knew was kind of into that. Now, this chick, I don't want to put out names or anything, but well, she wants to watch me bang other chicks. I mean, keep her, right? But at the same time, she was in a horrible car accident the other day, and she could be hospitalized for 2 months. And now I'm like, well, am I sure that I really want to pursue this? Because I'm pretty sure that if I pursue this, she will be in love with me by the time that she gets out of the hospital. Sorry if I'm not being too loud. It's just I've been really quiet today. Um, it's a very peculiar situation for me because, well, if I do this, and I mean, I was spoon feeding her today, and I like the girl, but she's hospitalized for 2 months, and it's a very it's morally upsetting because things were going well. The only thing that was really going bad was that my ex keeps coming around and acting like she wants to get back with me when she kicked me out, and she broke up with me, and she told me to move on, and she spent a week explaining to me that I'm the biggest piece of shit on the planet. So yeah, and I know because I brought that up, you're gonna come and harass me some more about how you know it's the truth because I put the truth on YouTube. Yes, I talked to other women while I was with you. Yes, you slept in bed with another man. I don't know where the morals go there, but eventually you broke me down. I don't get high anymore. And I don't mean get high like because I don't do that, guys. I mean, like I'm bipolar and manic depressive or whatever. It's all kind of the same thing. I don't get to the high anymore. So I can't do that. And so if I can't do that, then I can't do that. But other things that are particularly odd is like summertime's coming. It's weird because it's been raining for a couple of days. I wanted to go to the flea market over the weekend, but I'm not going to be able to do it because it's raining. I don't want to do it because it's raining and I'm not going to get anything. Hey, what's going on, Mario? Nice to see you here again. I'm just kind of updating because I'm having moral issues. You'll have to actually watch the beginning of it to see what's going on. But I wanted to do a live stream because I'm not doing anything else but sitting through this storm. I had to leave Atlantic City because it was too damn windy. It was like blowing my van all over the place. It was insane. Um, but yeah, so I'm just like chilling out in a Wawa parking lot somewhere. I don't know if it's Egg Harbor or if it's Hamilton or Mays Landing. I don't really know exactly where I'm at. I just drove out of Atlantic City and found somewhere that wasn't too windy where I could do a live stream because I didn't post anything today because I spent the whole day in the Atlantic City hospital um, with a friend who is in really bad shape. And I hope that, my subscribers will actually like send their prayers out because nobody really wants to be in pain. Nobody wants to see anybody in pain unless you're really a sadist and really evil because this isn't the kind of stuff that you would invoke as a sadist. Check my phone. It keeps saying low battery. I am also trying this um, AMP organic energy drink. It's a tropical burst. It's actually not bad. It tastes okay, but I don't know. It's not giving me the kind of rush that a Red Bull would, and a Red Bull's in this can, that size can. Hey, I got 2 viewers. Awesome. You can hit the like button Although I got 3 viewers, that's amazing. It's Friday night and nobody has anything better to do but to watch me. What's going on, everybody? It's great to see. I was actually feeling kind of low in a way because of things that are going on in my life. Oh no, I only got two, but I got a like. That's awesome. Um, Things are going on in my life and whatnot. But now I actually have viewers. It's I'm a little happier because it's like you guys are my friends. Sometimes you guys are my family. Sometimes you guys are my ex girlfriend. You're not really a guy at all. Sometimes you're my current girlfriend, but I don't currently have one of those. So uh, it is what it is. Well, I guess at the end of this, I might currently have a girlfriend. I don't know. But that's neither here nor there, and I don't know if she's. Well, I know she's going to be want to be on camera because that's how she is. But maybe I'll get her to twerk. So what's going on, Mario? I do want to do the Eddie's Corner thing, but honestly, it's probably not going to happen until next week. Um, One, between the things going on with me and spending time in the Atlantic City Hospital, and then two, money. I don't get paid until next week, and so I got to go down to Avalon and do the whole applying to do the bouncer thing again, so that I can put money back in my pocket and I can quit struggling so much. And then I'm gonna start selling the house and all that. I did actually do a little bit of drawing. If anybody follows me on Facebook, my name is actually my name, so you can like check me out there. But on my story on there, I actually had a little bit of a sketch that I was starting to do of a person, which is something that I swore I wouldn't do anymore because every time I draw a person, I turn somebody who I think looks great into a freaking monster. And it just like I don't do it, but I started doing it because I want to practice it and I want to get good at it. So like I did a sketch. You can barely see the picture; it's in my story, but that's only because I started with a pencil, and then I'm gonna go to a pen, and then I'm gonna go to some markers and some pencil, and it's gonna be a whole mixed media thing where it works out. Hopefully, I don't know. I might not ever finish it, but I did start doing some art, so that's good. I need to actually, work out that muscle. No, not that muscle. It's this muscle, but my fingers and toes. No, I don't draw with my toes. But so I have some time lapses going. Not of that, but I am gonna actually start doing that so that I can do exactly what I want to with the intro sequence and everything else. I'm not familiar with this Wawa, so I'm kind of like, I don't know how they're going to be, but I'm probably going to sleep in this parking lot. My phone keeps saying it has a dead battery, but every time I look at it, it's charging. So it's like, I don't know if it's like fluctuating between 5 and 6% because it keeps saying 6% when I look at it. If it's fluctuating between 5 and 6, then when it goes down to 5, it's saying, oh, well, the battery's dying. But as long as it holds it at around 5 to 6, I'm good and I can keep streaming, which is awesome. Um, I don't really have anything planned for today, which is the problem. I didn't because of the situation. Like I said in the hospital, I thought about streaming in the hospital and doing like the cafeteria in the hospital, but when I got there, all they had was like cold fries, so I didn't didn't want to do that. Plus, my phone was almost dead, and I didn't have my battery pack. I thought about streaming in Atlantic City. And had I stayed in Atlantic City tonight, I would have streamed in Atlantic City to like show, we're pretty much in the van situation. You can sleep everywhere. So Atlantic City, there's no sense in paying for a fancy ass hotel room when David said it again, but it's still saying 6%. I don't know. But there's no sense in paying for a fancy ass hotel room when you got a bed in the back and you can park it just about anywhere. You can always find free parking. But last night I parked in the ghetto and I wasn't very happy with it. Nobody messed with me, but there was like sirens all night and there was a lot of foot traffic and everybody was like kind of peeking in to see what I was doing. And so it was kind of weird. But tonight I'm actually sleeping off the island because Atlantic City, strangely enough, is the windiest city in America. And with the storm blowing in, that wind is really picking up. So I didn't want to sit there. It makes the van rock. I don't mind when I park on the side of the road and like a tractor trailer goes by and it like rocks the van a little bit. That's actually kind of comforting. But the way the wind blows, it makes the van rock and makes it kayak on top bounce around. I don't like that. And I definitely don't want to have to deal with like remounting that thing because if it falls off, it's probably going to kill somebody. I don't really want to kill anybody. There's a couple people I could scratch off my list, but to be realistic, if the kayak falls off of the top of the van, it's not going to like magically fall on this one dude that I want dead. It's just going to hit whoever's behind me. Um, so it is what it is. If I want him dead, I'd have to pay for that shit. And I don't have that kind of money or that kind of time to serve. So, that there's that. I don't really want to kill anybody. That's if I did, I'd have hit more things in the front end of the van than the couple trees and the deer that I hit. So, there's that. I know I'm not being overly entertaining. Like I said, I didn't plan for this today, and I wanted to come up with something to be angry about, but I didn't really have anything to be angry about. And I wanted to come up with something to be like a rhetorical thought. I actually did have an analogy the other day. I actually had a couple. One about like the dominant submissive thing, that the dominant man is usually the guy that's unsuccessful in life because he goes to work and he gets all pissed off and wishes that he could smack his boss around and shit, but he doesn't do it because he needs his job. Or then he goes home and he beats his wife. He takes it out on her, right? Well, likewise, his boss is he's the shit at work, but when he goes home, he's begging his wife to peg him. So it's kind of just a thought. And then and it's sad, but that is actually how life is. And the same thing with like a chick that's a boss is more likely to be submissive at home, and a chick that well, if she had to raise her kids by herself, she's probably going to be kind of dominant, and I don't want to mess with that. Um, but if she stinks in life, she wants to control her household, and that's something where we are in society now. Um, but then I also had this analogy about how like heartbreaks and uh, heartbreaks and abortions are fairly common. Like if your chick gets an abortion, she is much more susceptible to getting pregnant. Just like right after you get your heart broke, you're much more susceptible to falling in love. And I'm not saying that I'm falling in love or anything, but it seems like things are a little bit more common, and I find that I'm getting a lot of pity, which is pity pussy. Um, No, I'm not feeling that bad though. So it's just my head's going all over the place, and a lot of different things are going through my head, and so I'm just coming up with different stuff. And I actually, you know what I can do today as something for a little bit of gunfire for you guys to actually enjoy watching, since nobody's actually conversating or talking. You know, it is what it is. Is I can tell the story of the carpet python. And no, a carpet python is not like the penis that goes into the carpet. It's actually a snake, and we're gonna ramp up the story by explaining how that all went down. Way back in 1999, yeah, that's right. I'm old, guys. 1999 was the year that I graduated. It was also the year that I stopped working at McDonald's and started working at Zeus Pets, which was a very cool job for me. I worked there for about 6 months. It was awesome. I got to work in the back where they had the puppies, the reptiles, the birds, the feeder animals and stuff. That truck's kind of loud. Kind of loud. I get it though. Um, but yeah, it was an awesome job. I got to hand out puppies. Actually, my mom bought her Shiba Inu from there. She got it on a discount because he was like 6 months old, but she got him for like 150 bucks. And he was a great dog. She had him for 16 years, and he was actually a really good dog. He was the only dog she's ever had that when he played fetch, he would drop the ball into your hand. Every other dog wants to hold on to the damn thing and go get it, but you can't have it. But it was a really cool job because I got to work with parrots, and that's actually how I got my interest in parrots. I'm going to tell you the story of my parrot later. It's not a very happy story. But so I got to work with parrots, and I also got to work with the reptiles. Now, in the case of reptiles, they had a lot of small lizards and stuff. I learned a lot about different reptiles that I didn't already know, but they had three large pythons. They had a carpet python, which was 9 feet long. They had a Burmese python, which was 12 feet long. And they had an albino Burmese python, which was 18 feet long. They were large snakes, and they were all in the same container, which was cool because they all got along and whatnot. They didn't have any problems. Constrictors, for the most part, they're not going to mess with each other because it's just a battle of muscle. And clearly, the 18-foot long one is stronger than the 9 foot long one. That's just how it is. None of them are venomous, so it's not like there's an upper hand there. The 18-foot long is then dominant because he's stronger. They are pretty much a constrictor, as thick as they are. That's all muscle for the most part. I mean, there's a little bit of organs and bones in there, but not terribly much. As thick as they are is uh, how strong they are. So if they're that thick, that's how much muscle it is. And if they're 18 feet long, they have that much muscle all the way down, and they will use the whole thing. And the way that they work is they're constrictors. So every time your muscle contracts and loosens, they're going to tighten a little bit. Every time you breathe and exhale, you're going to tighten a little bit until eventually you're completely choked out. Well, what happened was it was feeding night, and in order to feed them, because they would be competitive for the food, in other words, the big one would eat them all. And the big one ate rats, and the other ones ate. Well, actually, they all ate rats. The big one would eat bunnies, but they didn't really keep them in stock, so it was what it was. I did like feeding them bunnies, though. Every once in a while, they'd get a few of them in because somebody'd order them, and it was better to get it in bulk than it was to get it, just a handful of them. So I got to feed it bunnies. That was cool. But I had fed them like they eat once a week, and I had fed them probably a dozen times before this happened. But you had to separate them in order to feed them. So what would happen was you got out a couple big tanks with lids on them, and you would pull them out and put them into the different tanks. Well, when you stuck your hand in there, because I did handle these pythons regularly, they were like an everyday handle thing, because if you don't touch your reptile, then you won't be able to touch your reptile. And if you're a pet store and you want to sell the reptile, you got to handle it, because the person who buys it is going to want to handle it, especially when it comes down to these large snakes. I mean, if you get a really big python, it's cool as hell to be able to take it out. And actually, while we were in Miami, I did see a guy walking around with an albino Burmese, but it was only about 10 feet long. But that's still cool, and that's still heavy to walk around with. So yeah, almost any kind of reptile, most of them are docile if you handle them. Not all of them. If you get something like a Nile monitor or a reticulated python, you're not gonna be able to touch the damn thing. Doesn't matter how big or small it is, it's gonna eat you alive every chance it has, because that's what they do. But and there's plenty of other stuff that does that. But otherwise, they're not gonna be aggressive if you handle them often, because they get accustomed to your touch. So I handle these things all the time. Um, when I reached in to separate them, I pulled out the Burmese python first, because that was actually my favorite one to handle. And because it was so docile, so smooth, it wasn't overly strong. It never really cared to fight in any way. And the way that they were tangled, it was just easier to pull it out. So I pulled that one out, and I put him in his cage. And the way I did it, I would put the feeder animal into the cage, so that when I put the snake in the cage, it'd see the animal, it was hungry, and it would go for it. So I put the snake in, and he was good. He went for it. I put the lid on it. But after I put the feeder animals in, I washed my hands. I didn't want to smell like it. Well, the next one I tried to pull out was the carpet python, because I generally left the albino Burmese in the tank, because it was so heavy. It was kind of a pain in the ass. So I'd leave it in there and just let him have his food in there uh, without having to take it out, because you only needed the two tanks for the other two. So I went for the carpet python. Wow, I lost everybody over the story. That's horrible. Um, I went for the carpet python, and when I went to pull it out, I guess it didn't like the way that it was being pulled, so it bit me. And it actually bit me right here on my wrist. It wrapped around, and it kept wrapping around, and it got all the way up to my shoulder, and it was on me for about 3 minutes. But while it was wrapping around, it actually tangled up the albino Burmese, and it had like just one coil from the albino Burmese. And I was screaming. I was going nuts. My arm was straight out. They were beating it with a baseball bat, because the owner was like flipping out and shit. It was a hell of a rush. I could feel it constricting on my arm. It was scary as hell, was what it was. And like the tail was starting to get up around my, like toward my neck, but it was like the tip of the tail. And as it constricted, it pissed off the albino Burmese. And the albino Burmese, being so much stronger, was able to just pull, and it pulled the whole snake off, which was awesome. Now that they gave me a little bit of a bonus for that, because I didn't sue them for it. But the albino Burmese then became my favorite snake of all time, because it saved my life. It wasn't doing it because it gave a literal shit about me, but it saved my life because, well, it had to, because it was in its own benefit, because it was uncomfortable itself. So welcome back, whoever you are. Um, there, was, I just hit the punchline of the story was, I got bit, and I got saved, and I'm just not gonna tell it again. You have to watch the video. I don't know if you're welcome back, or you're new, or I don't know what's going on here, but so yeah, that was the story about the carpet python. Oh no, I got two viewers again. You guys both left for the punchline of the story. I don't know, but like I said, you can rewatch it. It is what it is. The punchline was like 18 minutes into the video. So um, I don't know if I have any more stories to tell tonight. I mean, I probably do. I think I was just talking about a story. The fun of a live stream is actually the interaction, right? Um, Yeah, I didn't really prepare for this live stream, but I wanted to touch down because I know I didn't post on Wednesday, and it being Friday, I needed to, and I'm probably going to do something very similar to this tomorrow. Sadly, the weather is horrible. The weather's supposed to be horrible almost all weekend, and I was really looking forward to the weather being nice on Saturday because I wanted to go to the flea market. I wasn't sure which one I was going to do, but I wanted to go to the flea market. I need to get rid of stuff before the house sells, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Sunday, I am supposed to go to the Arc Walkathon, and I don't know if I'm going to live stream that or if that's going to be an edited video. But I also have to go to Avalon, so I'm going to be doing something there. If I do a live stream on Sunday, I don't know. It probably won't be I don't know. It might be an Avalon, but it may not be what I'm doing. Or I could do a live stream at the Arc Walkathon. That's supposed to be like a 2 hour event, maybe a 3 hour event where they walk around Parvin's Lake, and it's for a charity. So I'll be somebody walking, which is cool. It's for used to be the Association of Retarded Citizens, but that's not politically correct anymore. So it's just the ARC, which is people that are mentally handicapped and you know cognitively challenged. I guess. All right. Well, I'm still at 6%, so I guess this is working. Whatever it is, it's working. Um, yeah, so I'll be doing that on Sunday, and there will be a video from that. And like I said, I don't know if it's going to be a live stream. Uh, my signal isn't so bad at Parvin, so it might happen. And I'm probably going to do the long hike because I don't see it as that long personally because I'm a healthy, able-bodied man. But for the mentally handicapped people, some of them may not be able to do that much. They also do thunder gust, and you can watch the video about Parvin's. Uh, I can't put it up, but I posted that probably about a week ago. So that's that. Monday, I don't know if I have any plans on Monday. I might go hiking on Monday. I'm not sure where, and I'll probably be in Atlantic City because I'm going to spend this time with my friend because I think it's needed. Um, but anyway, I don't really have anything else to talk about. I just wanted to say hi, guys. And post something because I'm still trying to post something every day. And the one day that I missed, that actually really hurt my channel, and I don't know. But I do know that where I checked in yesterday has a lot of views and only one dislike. Nobody liked it. But I know who disliked it, so it doesn't really matter to me. Interaction is interaction, regardless if you like it or not. Um, so thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have a great Friday night because I know the weather's miserable, but there's always something to do. Go out and check out that Deadpool 2 movie. I hear that's really good, but I'm not going to get the opportunity to see it for a while. I'll probably end up bootlegging it. Um, so thanks for watching. I'll see everybody later.